previous issue with Brian is no longer an issue.
It's Issues with Brian.
All right, what's up, y'all? Oh, you know what? I thought I fixed that, but here we are. We're here. And I specifically want to talk about what I'm going to work on today. And it's going to be more in the traditional sense of issues with Brian. As we were joking earlier, touching one issue, taking multiple months to actually fix it, that's what I do. And this issue, though, it was opened up 18 days ago. This has been an issue I've had open since last fall. I actually just migrated it from the previous issue to this, which is collect data and create open source recommendation feed. So open source is a project to find your open source contributions, and it's something I've been working on for, it seems like for years at this point. And this is the login page. This is Gucci telling you if you don't got sauce, then you lost. And that's the mantra around open source. And what I want to do is when you log into open source, usually, well, you'll create a repo and everything like that and create an account. But this part right here is going to be completely empty. And what I want to work on is actually have recommendations for projects you can contribute to. Now, at the moment, these recommendations are just my GitHub stars. So if I go to github.com/stars, you can see Battlesnake is the last thing I starred. You got this other Battlesnake repo, which was from Hugh. And then we've got Doom Wasm, which is actually Doom in WebAssembly. Now, those are the exact same projects that I have here. If I want to add, let's say, Doom Wasm to my project, it doesn't do anything. And it's because in the background, if you create an open source account, you get this little open source goals repo that installs an interaction specifically to your open source goals. This is the only thing we touch as far as open source. And we also run actions. So me adding Doom Wasm actually triggers an action, adds it to your goals list. By the time I was able to explain this in 20 seconds, now I have Doom Wasm here. And this data right here is being stored in my data.json. So this is where open source grabs the data for your homepage. It all gets stored here. And the way I interact with this is every single piece of data is a GitHub issue. So if I wanted to write a random note, this is a note. This will actually update using the GitHub API and GraphQL. And yeah, this might be a little more detailed than the normal issues with Brian, but I just wanted to point out that this note stuff, previous issue with Brian, is no longer an issue. This is cool. So now I can actually make updates to my data directly within open source. It works. There's no question of how that works. I also just going to point out the way I made the interaction is through this GitHub app. And that's why on my that's why my avatar has a little pizza on it, because this is the open source pizza app. The thing I wanted to actually work on today, which is I'm saving goals, which is all those issues. I now want to start saving star data. And the reason for that is because I want to be able to know what stars are in your list and what stars are not in your list. And when I say in the list, so for example, if I go to Doom Wasm, Doom Wasm's here, but Doom Wasm is still in this list. So I want to be able to create a set in JavaScript to compare the two. It only show stars that are not already below in this list. So that is the issue I'll be working on today. I'm looking forward to actually accomplishing this. We'll see how far I get. No promises. But that kind of rounds up issues with Brian. If y'all get any value at all in me explaining issues with Brian's, particularly with the open source project, let me know. Just give me a thumbs up or a yo in the chat. And I'll see you definitely in the next one.
It's Issues